Hello, you're listening to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Rupert, joined here by...
And G-Yo.
And
as always, Stephen Medegliacco.
All right, so here we are, guys. We're in the midst of Laura Linney Appreciation Month.
It's the best. It's the best.
I didn't realize how many horror movies she was in.
Listen,
2. She's in 2, probably.
I think we need to
We just
take a
picked them.
minute to appreciate a woman who was able to, while a volcano destroys an ancient city, assemble a laser beam out of diamonds and scrap metal and destroy what was left of ancient evil gorillas. Okay?
That's true. Yeah. They were bad gorillas.
They were bad gorillas.
As Amy told us.
Right. Ugly. Do you love Congo?
I do like Congo.
Congo's incredible.
It's so bad,
Yeah.
but I do like
It
it.
rules. It's like one of those perfect 90s movies.
It's a B movie they don't make anymore, really.
There hasn't been like a good jungle adventure movie. In
That's
quite
not
some
true.
time.
There are constant jungle adventure
what are
movies.
you talking about?
Okay. Lay them on me, boys.
The last one that came out was with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock, and it was called The Lost City of Z. It was
I did not hear about this at all.
it was really good.
What about Jungle Cruise? Wasn't that like a... Didn't they do the Jungle Cruise from Disney? Didn't they make a movie?
They
into
did,
it? Yeah.
and it's
count.
That was recent.
The new Jumanji movies are fantastic.
Uncharted.
Wait. The new Jumanji movies, not the Robin Williams movie?
Yeah, there's new ones.
I know there's new ones, but they're good.
They are shockingly good.
You're kidding me.
I swear to God, I didn't think it'd be good.
With The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Yeah. So the first
And
one,
Jack Black.
the first one came out and like on a pretty like relatively small budget was a giant hit, and it played for like 5 months straight.
Because people loved it.
Yeah, and like my wife eventually, you know, she wasn't my wife then, but she was like, I want to see it. I was like, all right, fine, I'll go see the stupid new Jumanji movie.
And you loved it.
And we loved it. And I was like, I can't believe how good that was.
Wow.
And then the new one came
Is it better
out.
than real Jumanji?
It's very different.
That's tough.
So they're completely different. This Jumanji is focused on humor and like comedy, whereas the other Jumanji
Was an adventure movie.
was an adventure movie. So they're different.
Okay.
And the second one is very good too.
Jumanji
Yeah.
or Hook?
Jumanji.
No, you didn't even have to think about it.
No, not even for a second.
Steven?
I kind of have to think about it. Like, just what I like better or what's better?
What do you like better?
What do I like better?
Yeah.
Dick in the ass.
Oh.
Jumanji.
I think we can all go for that.
I think Jumanji's... yeah, I'd rather watch that than
See,
Hook.
now it's not fun because I was going to say Jumanji too.
Well, it's
But-
clearly
well,
the
it's
better,
better
movie.
movie, yeah.
I thought that'd be like a more like hotly debated thing.
You're like, guys, wait for it.
I got this.
Jumanji or Hook, and everyone's just like Jumanji.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Good job.
Do you like the Boo Box?
The what?
The Boo Box from Hook. When they put Glenn Close with a fake beard on in the box with
Oh,
scorpions.
I remember that now. I don't even really remember it that much.
That's what it's called, the Boo Box?
You guys didn't like Hook, did you?
I liked Hook.
I like Hook.
liked
It's
Hook.
okay. Roofy.
Oh. You're doing
They throw colored stuff at each other.
Yeah.
That's fun.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Hook is really stupid.
It's for kids.
Yeah.
It's not for...
Like a bunch of little kids fight pirates and nobody dies.
Yeah, and they're
They just,
pretending
like-
to eat food. No, Rufio dies, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, you're right. He's the one guy.
But did he die? Because they're already dead.
What do you mean they're already dead?
That's the story of Peter Pan. They're already dead.
What is he talking about?
He's talking about this like belief that Peter Pan. Some people believe that Peter Pan is like a ferryman to the dead, and
To the
what he's
afterlife.
actually doing is taking away children who died of like the plague or some shit. Like what was Ring Around the Posy? What disease was
Ring
that
Around the
supposed to
Rosie,
be?
The Black Death.
Yeah, it was Black Death, and he's carting off Black Death children.
That's why they don't grow old.
Because they're dead?
Never Neverland, they don't grow old. Yeah. Because they're dead.
I don't subscribe to this. This sounds...
I don't
They're fighting
like it.
pirates in... come on. That's like a childhood dream.
Exactly.
That's
That's
their
that's
afterlife.
Neverland.
That's their afterlife. They don't grow old.
So heaven is fighting pirates
For
on
kids,
an island?
For kids, yeah. That's like the most fun they'll ever have. They're having a ball in Hook.
They are
They're
having fun.
skateboarding.
That's true.
They're flying.
Yeah, they have
Big
like,
alligators and
they have
shit.
a half pipe with a basketball net. That is
Yeah,
pretty
you're gonna
cool.
tell me that's not heaven as a kid?
Also,
Iowa.
also though, like you get to play baseball with pirates and they let you win.
Yes. Run home, Jack.
And the boo box is kind of terrifying, but no kids go in the boo box.
No, just Glenn Close.
That's what the movie was lacking.
What's that?
I love like a chokey, a boo box, anything where children are being tormented.
Yeah,
I'd
90s
say
kids
that.
always were about just small spaces.
Just to scare you, I guess. Yeah.
Our generation, like the movies that they showed us as kids, like the 80s and 90s, they had like scary things in them that were designed to like leave you with nightmares, like and shit that you'd be afraid of.
Yeah.
But you kind of felt good once you were old enough to watch it. They took like all that shit out of movies.
Oh, everything is just
Sanitized.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Cartoons when we were young were disturbing.
Like what? Like Hey Arnold?
No. Like Once Upon a Forest.
Oh, yeah.
That is heartbreaking and
The Yellow
disturbing and-
Dragons.
yeah.
And
Like-
Fern Gully.
Fern Gully was kind of scary. Yeah.
You were scared of the smog monster?
Yeah.
I like what he's sucking on like a pipe, like of a truck, and he goes, Mother Smith. And I never forgot
That's
that.
the smog monster in Fern Gully.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk today about something even more terrifying than smog monsters or children's cinema.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whatever could it be?
Horror.
It's so scary.
It's spooky month here, and we are watching nothing more scary or terrifying than the American legal system. We are watching The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yes. 2005.
Yeah. Now, I thought that this was about a brand of wine called Emily Rosé.
You know,
I'm proud of that, Bob.
like
That did its intended job.
you just knew it was gonna. You knew it's
I
coming.
knew
you
it.
knew it's
yeah,
coming.
like the setup
Yeah.
was
It's for a
so
bomb.
telling.
The setup was
Yeah.
for a bomb. It wasn't even to try to make us laugh. It was
Yeah,
like, here
he had
we go.
no intention of us
Yeah.
laughing at it.
There was no laughter to be found
I'm
there.
hitting you in the
and I loved
face,
it.
and you can't do anything about it. We saw him wind up, and we didn't stop him. We weren't trying to like make a joke. It's just nope. Here's a good start. Thank you so much for that.
You're
I
welcome.
love you. I love your bombs.
You're welcome.
I have heard of this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it before.
All right.
Really? It's the
Nope.
first time.
I did not know it was based on any sort of reality. I was not familiar with the story at all.
Okay.
So this was all new to me. I got to say the movie was a bit of a mixed bag, but it brought a lot of interesting
Ideas?
ideas and sentiments to my head, and I enjoyed that part of it.
Okay. That's good.
What'd you guys think?
I saw this in theaters
You did.
when it came out, and I liked it then. And then I haven't seen it since. And Steve said something last week to me, which made me think it was another type of movie. And he was like, "Well, I know you don't like."
You thought it was a musical.
Yes. I thought that this was a full-blown musical. It was going to be about people lighting the loafers.
Right.
Exorcise the demons.
Yeah.
Exorcise the demons.
Love
and
it.
they're snapping and shit. Yeah. Demons, get out.
Brian, you're not gonna like this.
So, because he knows I really don't like found footage movies too much. So
Oh, you thought it was one of those?
in my head, I was like, is this a found footage thing? Because I remember years ago I saw a found footage exorcism movie, and I confounded the two. And then when I watched, I was like, oh, I remember this. And this isn't found footage, and I really liked it. I love a courtroom drama,
Those are usually good.
so I liked that. And I like the spooky elements, and I like how they play certain things, which we'll talk
The
about.
spooky elements, they're probably the most poorly done thing in the movie.
Really? Ah.
We'll get to
well,
it.
yeah, we'll
but
get to
I
it.
mean, we were supposed to be scared of what essentially was a Snapchat filter for most of the movie.
Well, this around 2005 was brand new shit.
I understand
so,
that.
Yeah, I actually
It doesn't hold
saw
up.
it when he saw it too. I think I might have saw it in theaters with you.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And I remember seeing it and being like, oh, wow. Like, I remember when I first saw it, I was like, this is really cool. It's creepy.
You picked this, right?
Yeah. I actually like this movie a lot. I think it's one of the better exorcism movies out there.
Have you seen it several times?
I think this was my like fourth or fifth. So I've seen it a few times. Enough to like not be surprised by anything anymore. You know?
Right.
But
Well, it's not really a jump scare type of movie.
In
There's a
theaters, there
couple-
was.
Yeah, I
yes.
guess there. Yeah.
But they, like you said, they play it where it's like, oh my God, that's actually terrifying. And then you realize, oh, wait a minute. There's something else going on here. And they play with the trial.
Right.
And I like that a lot.
That was good.
That's what I really liked about it, is that it's a horror movie, but it's not what it's intended to. Most horror movies do.
I like that it's a thinker, and
Yes.
you kind
Yeah.
of are left to decide what
yourself.
what you feel.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I do want to talk real quick about my doodle.
Okay.
Oh, right out the gate.
Yeah, let's get it out the way, 'cause I always forget.
Okay, we have.
You did forget a few times.
Okay, well, I do understand what I'm looking at.
Okay, what is it?
This is. I assume that's Emily Rose. She's put on a few pounds. in
Yes,
Doodle.
yes.
She's fat Emily Rose.
It's the beginning. It's before she stopped
Yeah,
eating.
before she starved herself to death. And then we have an upside down crucifix.
Yes.
Christ in the crucifix.
This sounds elaborate. I can't. I want to see this.
He has very little discerning features. He just kind of looks like your standard stick man. You want to take a look?
Yeah.
I honestly felt uncomfortable doing the upside down crucifix. And I was like worried if I should keep it. And like I decided to put it in, but I was like, I'll leave Jesus vague.
Right.
It was an
Yes,
artistic choice.
Right.
This.
I'm waiting for your Muhammad drawing.
This.
Oh, you didn't see what I wrote for Charlie
Charlie Hebdo?
Yeah.
This looks like somebody being tortured on the cross. It's an upside down crucifix.
Typically, when you're on a crucifix, you are being tortured.
But then it looks like there might be a manatee next to it, like playing,
know what?
playing with the ball.
It kind of has like the scars of a motorboat.
Yeah,
It's a cow. It's a sea cow.
yeah. That's what
She is gorgeous. So, what's a priest's name? I love that guy.
Tom Wilkinson.
Tom Wilkinson.
General Cornwallis, I
Yes,
believe.
he
from
has
the Patriot.
returned. Yes.
We're getting a lot of Patriot returners
Yes.
recently.
We were talking about how we had Jason Isaacs twice.
Yes.
We also had
Bly.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So
Corrections.
today our mincemeat episode just dropped in our time. And
It's our time down here.
and we listened to it and we're like, God damn it, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Because we left that
I
out.
forgot about Captain Bly.
So that's that. You guys want to dive into the movie?
Let's
Yeah, let's start with the intro.
So we get a bunch of spooky imagery. A spooky house in the snow,
I like the intro.
Looks now, yeah, it's cool.
winter hornets,
Yeah.
which are not something I thought existed.
Bugs usually die in the winter, but I don't know.
I
about
thought that they were saying these are like supernatural evil
Yes.
hornets.
They might be, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you know the real story, oh yeah.
I just wanted my immediate thought, because Exorcisms is an Exorcist movie. It's called
The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Generally associated with Catholicism,
Yes, typically.
and we're clearly on like a farm in the plains in this movie.
Very unusual.
No Catholics out there, usually.
It's very rare.
So that got me thinking that this is odd. And when I looked into the real story,
It takes place in Germany.
Yes.
yeah. So this is very far from the source material.
By the way, the actress Jennifer Carpenter, they cast to play the
great.
real lady, which is Annalise Michelle. That's the real lady. Mikhail?
Yeah.
Mikhail.
I thought it was Michelle, which is a common German girl.
Mike.
Yeah. She
Mika.
Yeah. Jennifer Carpenter looks like this chick.
Oh, does
Annalise,
she?
though. Yeah.
A little bit, not too much. A little.
I could see
There's
it.
a little
Yeah,
resemblance. Carpenter's so beautiful though.
You really like her?
Oh yeah, I think so.
She's a very 2005 looking girl.
Yeah.
Not that there's
She's
anything
in
wrong
Dexter.
Not.
She's great in Dexter. I think she's a great actress. I liked her in Quarantine. I'm a
She's
fan.
very good in that. I
I'm a
like
fan.
her.
Yeah.
She's a good actress.
with. Great actress, and he brings up Quarantine.
It's a horror movie. It's spooky. Fuck you.
She spends time in the spooky realm.
It's Spooktober.
She's fantastic in this.
Yes.
Yeah, she's good.
And you know that all those contortions and shit, that was all her?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was all her, like, natural
There wasn't
shit.
really anything too extreme. The weirdest bit of that is that scene where she's on the floor of the dorm room.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
get there.
And when they show her from behind, She just looks normal. And when they show her from the front, then it's like, oh, his arm is
all
upside down.
weird and shit.
weird.
So we see the family, they're all upset and sad, and we see the priest getting charged, which it's different than what a priest is usually charged for.
Yes.
The Catholic Church was like, thank God it's only negligence. We can't deal with another one of the usual.
Now, I think it's also important to mention this came out in 2005.
Yes.
The actual story is not that far away.
It's from the 70s.
From the late 70s.
Yes.
I think it's like 78.
Right.
Something like that. So it's not like this is a long, long time ago. This is
know-
fairly recent.
Combine this with the last movie we did was The Mothman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next week,
Amityville.
we'll be doing Amityville. And all three
By the way,
of
not the
those-
movie, just the song from the Marshall Mathers LP featuring Eminem and Bizarre. We are going to play the song live for 2 hours as we podcast over it. That's what we're doing.
I love it. I love the idea.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
All of that kind of happened around the same time.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
within 10 years of each other.
The Warrens, that's our next movie after that.
Right. Yeah. A lot of...
Possession was hot.
what do they call it? The Satanic Panic?
Yeah, Satanic
That
Panic.
was a thing. But I always thought that was the 80s.
That's the 80s. I think this may be the start of it.
Yeah.
Like a
And then you
precursor.
have rebel kids who are like, we're going to summon the devil, man.
Also wrapped up in this time period, you got like the Charles Manson shit and cults.
Well, what
Jonestown.
is it Manson 60s?
60s and
Yeah.
into
So this is
70s.
10 years later.
69.
But still, you have the clear cultural shift away from the conservative religious types to this free type of going out to college
it's the
and
boomers
going to
kind of
do
coming of
things.
age and
Yeah.
doing weird occult shit.
Maybe they succeeded.
You know? Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you're a Catholic.
I am.
How come now Catholicism is the oldest interpretation of Christianity, correct?
That's debatable. There's also
Yeah.
the Eastern Orthodox, which kind of they're both offshoots
They're similar,
of
though,
the
right?
original Christian faith that comes directly from Christ.
But that would be the oldest, right?
sure. I
Like
mean,
Like when someone says
real quick, if I'll sum up the Great Schism.
Yeah.
In the West, because once Christianity kind of permeated the Roman Empire, the bishoprics, most of them were in the eastern part of the empire. The only one in the West was in
Do you say
Rome.
bishoprics? Because I think a lot of kids have encountered those over the years.
I started having flashbacks when you said that.
The only one in the western part of the empire was in Rome itself.
Okay.
And this led to the Bishop of Rome kind of having a little bit more power than the ones in the East because they competed with each other. So he kind of held himself up above the rest of them, and that became the papacy.
Okay.
And that is Catholicism, whereas Eastern Orthodoxy. And then there's more things that happen later on. but-
Yeah, obviously. But so my thing was like American Christians, right? Like a typical, if someone says in America, I'm a Christian, they're most likely a WASP.
They're most likely some sect of Protestantism.
Yes.
Whether that be like Methodists
Lutheranism.
or Lutherans.
Yeah,
or
whatever.
Anglican.
You never hear about like those guys into the exorcism thing.
They're not.
It seems so much more a Catholic
It is a
thing.
Catholic thing. It's like exclusively a Catholic thing.
Is there a reason for that?
Romans.
They recognize things like saints and demons, and it's
No one else does?
Not really, as far as I know. I mean,
Okay.
the
That doesn't
Protestant
come from-
sects. It's way more about.
Protestant sex is, all is one.
I can wear a condom on my John Thomas.
That stuff doesn't come from Rome. I thought that was like a Roman thing.
It is
like the demons and
it's
stuff
Catholicism, but the Protestants it's way more about interpreting the Bible in their own way, and they make up their own fucking rules and shit. There's nothing ancient about Protestantism. It's all very. It's us,
Okay, I understand. So I wanted to ask that question. How did we get here?
You asked.
You asked.
Yeah.
You asked about Catholicism.
The priest was charged. That's it. So he's charged with negligence. Laura Linney shows up, and she's offered a partnership if she can get him to take a guilty plea.
The archdiocese hires her
Hires the firm.
to defend him in court. He's going to be put on trial for negligence for some. They're trying to blame him for her death.
Okay.
And the catch is he cannot speak in court about it. He has to keep his mouth shut.
The
Well, they don't
diocese
want
does
him
not want him to
talking. Right.
testify.
And this was a thing. Like, if you look into the real story, Anneliese Michael in Germany,
Yeah.
she started to say, well, I guess we'll get into I don't want to give away too
Yeah,
much.
don't.
But she was calling out apostate priests. That's what she perceived as such in modern church and how they've gotten away from where they're supposed to.
Yes, and one of the things she's talking about is like children being led astray,
Right.
and they're talking about their rock and roll and their drugs.
Right. She makes a lot of good points as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And it's like Led Zeppelin is the devil's music. That Kiss band.
One of the first things Pope Benedict did when he became Pope, and that was in, I think, like 2003, was condemn Pink Floyd and the Rolling Stones.
I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
It's like, dude, you're very late to this
Yeah.
party.
Next, the Big Bopper. So she has a meeting in jail with Father Moore, and he wants to testify.
Yes.
And
Can we talk about a minute about that scene in the bar where she's like drinking martinis?
Yes.
Gin,
Yes.
gin martinis?
Yeah.
She speaks with two people.
Yes. And they're like, she had gotten a guy off of a murder charge.
yeah, and she also got a guy off in the bathroom too.
She did?
It's a joke, because got a guy off. Yeah.
I thought there might have been a hand job scene I
No.
somehow missed.
More movies need hand job scenes.
Uncomfortable hand job
last
scene
one.
specifically. Like quiet, all you hear is just like the.
You know what? I like a nice hand job scene.
Oh, I thought you were
How
going to say
many
you
are
like
there?
a nice hand job.
How many are there?
There's the one in Mincemeat.
But that was implied.
No.
That's a hand job
You know what I
scene.
mean? Like
You see the hand moving.
little
He's
bit.
churning the butter.
I think there's one in Euro Trip. Not to bring that up again.
Yes. There's also, there's one with a guy jerking himself off in,
Boogie Nights?
not Boogie Nights.
There is a Boogie Nights.
there is,
There
yeah,
is.
there is one.
The one with Phoebe Cates. Fast Times at Ridgemont.
Fast Times. That's
Yeah,
a jerk off.
He's jerking himself off. Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta. There's a distinction.
Yeah.
And the American Beauty.
American Beauty. There's a jerk off scene.
Yeah. Kevin,
I haven't seen
Kevin
it in a while.
Spacey's
I'm
wife
so happy we went down this avenue.
confronts him and he goes, "Yeah, I was whacking off."
Yes, I remember that. All right. So, what do you want to talk about in the jail scene?
Just the
The
Well, the
bar.
more-
because
bar
it-
scene.
she's drinking like gin martini. She's like a hard lawyer.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Single female lawyer.
You're right.
She's on the rise, and she's wondering why she's still junior partner, and she wants to be full
Right.
partners, have her name on the office, and her boss is like, "You win this case, it's yours."
Right. And
Yes.
And then you meet her.
is this supposed to take place in the 70s?
No, it's contemporary.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the
Why
outfits.
is it in the next scene she's all dolled up like Farrah Fawcett?
Because Farrah Fawcett is a dame.
She literally has the Farrah Fawcett hairdo.
Is that
and,
when
like,
she's going to the
eyeshadow.
lawyer?
When in the courtroom.
Okay.
She looks ridiculous. In the first scene. In
The first courtroom scene?
First courtroom scene.
See, I didn't
then she
notice
tones it down after that. But the first one, she looks like Charlie's Angels.
So you don't like Farrah Fawcett hair?
I do. I think she looks pretty. In fact, I was like thinking, she looks very pretty.
Laura Linney's very pretty.
Yeah.
As we know, as I said the last time she was around.
Right.
We know I have a thing for Miss Abigail Adams. So she has a jail meeting with Father Moore. He
Hold
wants
on.
to
But
testify.
before we continue, let's talk about Lenny for a second.
Yeah.
Is she like? Because I feel like she's regarded as like a great actress.
She's very well regarded.
I didn't realize she's in so much like schlock.
What
Schlock?
What schlock?
Like this and
This is schlock?
Congo, Mothman.
I think all of those were successes besides Congo.
No, not that they're not successes, but they're like dumb movies.
You're saying like because you didn't win in a major
No, but
award
they're
or
like,
best picture,
like
it's not
Abigail
worth
Adams
it.
is a lofty role, you know.
Okay.
Nobody has anything.
I mean,
I don't agree.
like she's been nominated for.
True. What about Truman Show? Do you consider that to be?
That's
yeah.
not schlock.
That's not schlock.
That's just a drama.
Right.
But she's been nominated for Best Actress 3 times. She's
great.
won Emmys.
I think she hosted like a show on PBS where she was like, she did the intro to it. It was
I remember that. It was Laura's Lineage, and she would go into your family history and tell you where you came from. And she'd be like, Anthony Galati, your family served gelato in Naples. And it was Laura's Lineage.
Laura's Lineage.
It's the hot new show on PBS.
And it's not about her lineage, about yours.
Yeah, well, the pilot, we learn about her lineage.
Okay.
A little. Just like, and then, she's like, and in the future, I'll be doing this for you.
I'm
the
Laura
viewer.
Linney. My grandmother came here from Afghanistan. I don't know why I chose that.
She's like the whitest person ever.
I feel like it's like the show sounds like it's going to be a dead serious show. Like it's supposed
is.
to be.
There's no humor.
It's supposed to like entertain you, but it just makes you feel uncomfortable that she's going to find you out at some point.
We're unveiling the lives
Real
of
quick,
everyone.
do you know that they have a show like that on PBS where they go into celebrities like histories?
Yeah, and
they-
they get all uncomfortable when they find out their great grandfather's a slave owner.
Ben
or
Affleck
something.
freaked out.
Yeah.
You could see him like, my career is dead before my eyes. It was.
Why did I do this?
Yeah.
Anyway,
You know what though?
she's
Like,
a good actress.
I like her. I like her. I'm
Why
just
are you
saying,
hating on her?
I didn't know. I didn't realize how much of this type of stuff she did.
She just has an expansive career and has done so much, And I think with actresses especially, and especially before, 2014, there was like an age limit to your career. And when you hit it, you got the boot. You would age out quick.
Right.
Who was more
Kathy
successful?
Moriarty.
Laura Linney?
Who's that?
You don't know Kathy Moriarty?
Not by name.
She's a
Who is
big
it?
actress. She was in Casper.
Okay.
She was in
We're
Raging Bull.
Big name.
Was she in Casino? No, I don't think she was in Casino. She was De Niro's wife in Raging Bull.
Okay, if I saw her, I'd know her.
She
I love that
fell off.
Casper is your first pull, though.
That was my movie as a boy.
Do you
Yeah.
know who picked good roles? Like what Laura Linney could have done. Nicole Kidman got all the good ones. Nicole Kidman
she's
was
like
in,
a
the
mega
others.
star.
Yeah, but look at the horror movies she was in compared to Linney, and it's just elevated.
The Others is better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great movie.
This is a different flavor, though. I like
course,
that
of
this is a
course.
courtroom drama. Nicole Kidman, I don't like her as much in the role as Laura Linney in this. Like, as far as
Agreed.
Nicole Kidman would not play this well. I don't
Who was the
think.
one with Harrison Ford where she was in the water? Oh God.
Your wife.
Yeah, that one. What movie was that?
I gotta look it up. Hold on.
What Lies Beneath?
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Oh yeah,
Your wife.
didn't they do that in Scary Movie too?
Yes,
they did
and
it in
it's
Scary
hysterical.
Movie, and it's the guy in the dress.
Ray's in
It's
the red
Ray's in the
dress, and he's like, "Oh, you got the same dress, huh?"
I just woke up here. What about you, Ray? It's like, I just picked this up last night. Shit's hot, right?
The Others was I Am Your Daughter.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it says.
And they do that too in Scary Movie. It's Michael Jackson.
Well, Scary Movie. Was
They touch all of them. But yeah, so
Let's get back to
back to the movie.
Real quick. She has a
yes.
jail meeting with Father Moore, who wants to testify, and we learn a little bit about Emily's backstory and what Emily aspired to be. Emily wanted to be a teacher and filmmaker.
She could have been a contender.
We also learn about her.
Does she want to be a filmmaker?
And a podcast host.
We also learn about her enemy in this, or at least the prosecutor, because he tells her this is what I'm going for, and if you don't take the plea deal, I'm gonna go for life in prison. And he offers, I believe, 6 months for a murder rap, which isn't too bad.
Well, it's not a murder rap. It's negligence.
It's negligence. Excuse me. It's
Manslaughter.
manslaughter. Excuse me. So 6 months for manslaughter. That's not too bad, especially with good behavior. You'll get out in 3 months. That's not bad.
I recognized his voice immediately, the prosecutor.
Yes.
He was the voice of the Men Who Built America. Are you familiar with that series?
Yes, it ran on History Channel.
Yes. He did
It's
all
all about
of those.
Carnegie
There's-
Mellon and shit.
Yeah, it was the Men Who Built America, and then the Titans that built America, and the Frontiersmen. He was the narrator of all of that, and I heard him, and I was like, I know that guy. And it happened again because they bring a doctor out who's an expert in the paranormal shit later. The woman,
Yeah.
she was one of the Quarians in Mass Effect.
Whoa. You reckon? Well, you
I
played
recognize
the game.
voice.
more
I
recently.
played the game recently. They did the remastered version. Great game.
Wow. Nice catch.
So the watch stops, or the clock stops.
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Which is?
It's the inversion of the Trinity.
The witching hour.
Witching hour.
That was a good Tom Wilkinson.
Did we touch upon the witching hour in the pick
They didn't
episode?
mention it yet.
I think we touched upon that briefly. The witching hour, where it came from originally.
I'll just say this real quick. Last night, preparing for the show today, I did a bunch of research on like devilry
Yeah.
and ghostly things because that's what we're talking
Please
about.
tell
Are you now part of the occult?
I creeped myself out. And I fucking didn't sleep last night. I woke up at like 2:45. And the minute 3:15 is important in the upcoming film.
Yes.
And I was just fucking waiting for it. I'm laying in bed. It's coming.
Is your wife?
I'm gonna look at my phone.
Is
and
your
I'm gonna
wife with
freak
you, or is
myself
she
out.
working?
She was there.
Okay.
I have an AKA for this movie, and I think you're gonna laugh really hard. My AKA is "Don't worry, I didn't need sleep anyway."
So you got freaked out.
I just fucking creeped myself out. And it was like we had the AC on too high. So it was hot and I couldn't get back to sleep, right? So I'm just laying there and I'm all warm. And instead of walking down the hall and lowering the AC to fucking make myself comfortable, I was too frightened.
So
you're not a big horror guy.
I hate horror movies. I like 5 of them.
Brian, before we came in today, we were in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And I said, Aunt, I have the recording of the actual Exorcism.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh God!" And I'm like, "I'm gonna play it." And
I told him
played
no,
it.
I don't want to
He
hear
goes, "I don't
it.
want to hear it." I played a clip, Brian. Listeners, I'm not playing it on this show. We agreed not to.
Yeah.
I don't think you could make it through a couple of minutes of that.
It's like hours long.
It's
Like if you
legit
go
an
on
hour and a half.
YouTube, the recordings of the actual exorcism of this girl, Annalise Michael, is out there. You can listen to it. It's scary
It's fucking
noises
terrifying.
in German.
You got scared?
It's
honestly,
it's
I'll tell you, as a
uncomfortable.
Jew, when I hear scary noises in German, I get extra scared. Usually it's the sound of my ancestors being roasted alive next to me.
dude, it's a different level of scary. It's uncomfortable.
it's just
so
I've heard of
uncomfortable.
shit,
Yeah.
man. It's not like it's the fucking the grizzly man getting mauled.
Oh, something light fun, a little bear attack.
That's my favorite clip from that movie. Anybody
Is
knows,
it?
the Grizzly Man is a movie about a man who went to Alaska and lived with
Oh
grizzly bears, and he thought they were his friends until they ate him.
Oh my God.
And he had a camera going while they ate him, and there's audio.
So
of-
they cut the video and played the audio.
no, well, the audio is out there, and the director of the film decided not to put it in the movie.
Okay.
But there's a scene. And they ate his girlfriend too. Get him. Just added that. They ate his girlfriend. There's a scene in the movie where I think it's Max von Sydow or someone like that. No, the German director guy. What's his name?
Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog is playing the audio of the man being eaten to his ex-girlfriend. Like she's got headphones on,
Yeah.
and she's crying,
Horrific.
listening to it, and he goes, "You must never play this for anyone." And she's all like horrified. "I won't, Werner. I won't play it. You must destroy this. It is very important that you never play this for anyone."
It's horrifying.
I love it. I
It's-
love that
it's
scene.
so-
It's hilarious.
I gotta watch it. Why is it funny?
It's not funny. It's just she's so upset, and he is so German. You must never play this.
Tears in our eyes. So you did some research. What did you find out?
Oh, about the exorcism?
Anyway, I don't know. You brought it up. You said you did a little bit of research. You did a little
Yeah.
back and you got creepy. Did you get anything good? Like anything that might?
I watched.
He got a ghost blowjob.
A
Like
lot
Dan
of it was for the
Aykroyd.
next movie, so we'll talk about
Okay. Did you read anything about the witching hour though?
not that in particular, but whatever.
Well, we've touched upon it
Yeah.
before.
Here we go.
So the
right,
clock
so-
stops.
So the clock stops. We get to court day one, and we find out his name is Father Richard Moore, or formerly Moore, Dick, which is a weird name for a priest.
That is his name.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. So they show the death photo to the jury, and they explain that Emily, awoke at 3 a.m. and pens fell off like her nightstand, and a blanket was pulled off her, and it's very suggestive of rape.
Yes.
You thought so?
When you watch the scene, it's like blankets are being pulled off of her,
Choking her.
Yeah, it really kind of felt like a
That
rape
picture
scene.
looked very much like the picture of the real girl. That I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did not look up the death photo.
Yeah, it looks almost identical.
Oh,
It's
yes.
creepy as hell.
The prosecution shows the photo of her just before she died, and she's all withered and fucked up.
The real photo does not look like the same person at all.
Right.
It's disturbing. Its teeth are like pushed outward and like destroyed.
Well, it's a woman
bruised.
who's been starved to death and beaten, essentially.
And supposedly she was like chewing the walls and
Yeah.
breaking her teeth.
That's
and, like,
real.
Drinking
She
her own
was
piss.
Drinking her own piss and eating bugs.
Eating bugs like they do in the movie.
That's what it's from.
Yeah.
So that all happened.
So Laura Linney is on the stand with a doctor who's like, she definitely had epilepsy and all this, and like Linney like lawyers him, and kind of makes him look a fool. Then she talks to Tom Wilkinson, Father Mordick, in jail, and he's like, "You must understand when you took this case, demons are going to attack you at night.
Yes.
Whether
I
you
feel like you're
believe it or
skipping
not."
a lot.
Right.
No, I don't think so.
The phone call and stuff.
The phone call.
He warns her that she's in danger.
Yeah, I think that's about to happen.
Oh, okay.
But just to talk about the real thing for a minute.
Oh no, I like you're talking about Emily making the phone call.
Yeah.
I didn't mention that she called her neighbor when I spoke. I was talking about the pens and stuff. It's part of that scene.
Yeah, so she calls her neighbor because the neighbor's testifying, and she calls her at 4 a.m, screaming her head off. And any phone call at 4 a.m. is just not good. You're never getting a call at that time, and you're like, oh, great. It's always bad. So
I used to call Anthony when we
At
worked
4
at
a.m.
Applebee's at 4 a.m. and ask him to tell me the ingredients of specific Applebee's menu items.
Point
and
proven.
I said, this was at our boss' behest. He always wants you on your toes. Tell me what's in a crispy orange chicken bowl.
He did do that.
point proven.
I gotta say,
Brilliant.
he got like 9 out of 10, which isn't bad for 4 a.m. Guy knew his shit.
Brian was really the standout employee at Applebee's.
So yeah, then he says there's dark, powerful forces surrounding this trial.
Yeah.
And why
Insert
are you playing
black
with your
joke.
nipples? You guys think I'm fucking around? Ant is literally sitting here tweaking his nipples as
Hard,
we podcast.
very hard.
And he's doing it subtly, like there's nothing weird or abnormal about
Very
it.
hard.
It's not my nipples.
Looks like it.
It's my shirt. I'm playing with the buttons on my shirt.
Okay, it looks like it literally looks like you're sitting there just like tuning your nipples like they're antennas. It was very bizarre.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to distract.
It was a good distraction.
No, don't stop.
I won't do it again.
No, feel free, dude. They're your nipples. I'm not gonna tell you can't touch them.
So the reason why I wanted to bring up the phone call
Yeah.
is because like weird.
By the
shit.
way, if she called Ghostbusters, all this could have been avoided. Who are you gonna call? Not neighbor.
No, you don't call me.
Ghostbusters.
Who calls a neighbor?
Yeah, not your family.
Yeah. Why didn't they just call her mom?
Yeah, that's weird. You're right.
Why did they choose that? Because
No,
that
I
didn't
think-
happen. It's not based on any sort of reality.
Oh, that part is bullshit.
Well, as far as I could tell, like when I looked up stuff about this, she had her first episode was in school, just like in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if we haven't said it before, the movie kind of is flashbacks. Like they're in the courtroom, and they show flashbacks of the girl, throughout her
Yes.
satanic experience. And the real one, she was in school and she had some kind of blackout where she just kind of zoned out and started freaking out in the classroom and pissed herself.
Yeah.
And this was for me the worst scene in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was just bad.
In the classroom?
In the school,
Or
when
in-
she's running around,
or in the dorm.
and everyone has crazy
Demon faces?
Snapchat faces.
What I like, what I
liked
do like, is that they immediately play it the other way with none of the demon shit, and they let you decide.
Did you notice that the students in the classroom were in a thunderstorm at night with all the lights off? The school, no one had lights on in the school. No one had lights
Or
on
is
in
she
the church.
hallucinating?
Yeah. Well, one of my notes is like, why does this school just project red lighting on every building?
No one wants to put the lights on.
Or she's hallucinating, right? It
No,
could
but
just
they
be
weren't
her,
going
what
for
she's
that.
seeing.
No.
No, because they
Yeah.
flip it.
Yes, they do.
When did they flip it?
No,
All
because
the time.
they show you like a scene where it's like the people get demon faces, and then they show you the other way where
She's just running.
She's just running, and these people are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Now, if let's assume that
the
you're
lighting doesn't change.
like horror movies were coming out around that time, right?
No.
70s. There was
None of them.
no horror movies at all, right?
No.
No,
Nothing good. Not like the biggest horror movies ever. If
I thought we were
you're-
talking about 2005 when this came out.
No. In the 70s when this was happening. If
Yeah,
you're a
of course.
horror
There's
movie
always horror movies.
if you're a horror
Yeah.
movie fan and you get possessed, like you guys, are you enjoying it?
Why would you enjoy being
Yeah.
possessed? There's-
Because you're walking around, these crazy shit's happening. You're seeing faces change. You're seeing things are moving. This is
What are you
fucking awesome.
suggesting?
You don't
You're
like haunted houses?
No.
Oh, you don't
Oh
like?
yeah, I
haunted
want to have I want to just be tormented by evil.
houses? Like if you're a fan
and
of
be like,
Fangoria,
whoa, this is wild. This is like being high.
you don't think like a crazy horror fan would be like, this is great.
No one would be like this. You're an idiot.
I can't eat. I'm being tormented by demons.
Well, no, they're not.
My body is not in my control, and I'm being thrown around like a rag doll.
I'm eating my own piss.
This is pretty friggin' sweet.
That happens to people. That happens to people on meth. They still do it.
You have the weirdest takes on shit.
I
He
think
may
there's
be possessed. He's like, come on, guys, it's not that bad.
I'm just trying to get you possessed. I'm like, it's good, right? You should try it.
So anyway, Tom Wilkinson, he warns her demons are going to attack her and shit. She's like, yeah, okay. We learn about the possession began in a hospital,
Yes.
and it's when she's in the hospital that she was possessed for the first time.
Now she was diagnosed at that point with epilepsy.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was on
And the
Gambutrol.
well, that in the movie. I don't. Is that what it was in real life too?
In real life, I believe they did diagose her with epilepsy.
They did.
I
but
believe so.
Then they put her on some sort of.
I don't know the drug.
She was diagnosed with depression and treated by a psychiatric hospital.
right.
By the time she was 20, she
Baba.
became intolerant of religious objects and began to hear voices.
Yes.
So when she goes to like grab a crucifix and starts bending back. And Brian, does that happen to you when you try to touch a crucifix? Because like you're not.
Yes, only because I'm a Jew.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Brian
we are
screams in
allergic
horror.
to crucifixes.
It's vampire rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't go out in the day. Actually, I'm half, so I can. It's
He's the motherfucking day walker.
Oh,
It's
shit.
Blade rules. Yeah, I'm the day walker.
Brian,
I have my sword.
Can we talk about when you denied God and then?
That's what I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was hoping we could skip this.
Nope. You made me do it last time.
I was hoping we were gonna skip this.
No.
Okay. All right. I didn't really want to talk about this, but I will. All right.
If the walls start doing weird shit, we'll stop.
All right. So years ago. This has to be 10 years ago or more. Over, right? Over.
Probably about
It's
10 or 11.
Let's say 2010.
11 to
Just to
12.
be
Let's
safe.
say.
11 to 12 years ago.
12
That makes
years
sense,
ago.
Yeah.
So 2010. So
You were a young man.
I'm a young man, and I struggled with confidence issues and things like that. And in order to, try to boost myself up, to have self-esteem, because I naturally have none. I think I suck at everything, and I'm generally useless.
Which isn't wrong.
No, it is the
And then
right
we
way.
wonder why he has confidence issues.
Yeah, right.
He hangs out with me.
Yeah.
You are a piece of shit. Yeah.
It is the right way to view stuff. So
Take him down a peg. You're taking him down a peg when he can't go any lower.
So I started to be like, okay, the only way out of this is to change my mind
it until
state,
you make it.
my mind state so drastically, and to gas myself up and verbally proclaim how great I am constantly. It is the only way out of this.
So what did you do?
So I started saying that I am God.
You are God.
I am God. There is no God but me.
Like, there's no
But-
the God.
but
You
you,
are
Brian
the
Rupert.
God.
I am God. That's what I was
The
saying.
one,
Very-
the one
very,
true God.
Yes.
Very
Yahweh.
blasphemous.
Yeah.
He who is called I am.
I'm being completely blasphemous. I'm like, I am God.
You weren't wearing like crucifixes or anything though. You
No.
were just like, I am the God.
I am God. Like, there is no
Right.
God in the world except me.
Except Brian.
Okay.
And I gas myself up so much.
You'd walk around saying this. You called
To
yourself
everyone.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was V2.
V2. Version 2 of
Version
Brian.
2 Brian.
Yes, where I gassed myself up. And I would, I would.
New and improved
My
Brian.
friends knew I was V2. I was gassing myself up.
You would dress all nice.
He
and
was
then-
insufferable to
Yes.
be around.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like V2?
No, it was hilarious, but you were not fun.
The
to
fucked
be
up
around.
thing is V2 worked.
Did it?
You were outgoing.
I got laid.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. V2 was a rousing success
What did it cost you?
until
At
it
what
didn't.
cost, man?
What cost?
Until it didn't. And this is the death of V2. So
What,
this is-
hold on. Explain what V2 would do.
yeah. Go
What did
into
you-
a little debt.
I thought I just said it.
I mean, he'd go around and he'd get involved in whereas he would normally shy away from things like being social. He'd get in people's face and he'd be fucking loud and boisterous.
Obnoxious.
He'd be obnoxious and just talk about how great he is all the time.
Yeah.
He would tell people he is God.
Yeah.
And that they should listen to him and bow down to him.
Like oozing confidence wasn't the definition. He was a flood of confidence.
He'd walk around with a popped collar and point at people.
Yeah,
Like he was a cartoon character.
I started
It's
calling
like
him,
when Tobey Maguire was dancing
I was
in the
Black
street.
Suit Brian.
Yeah.
I called you
Da-
Gary
da-
Busey for a while.
Right.
Because you were just so out of it.
Oh, he slicked his hair back.
Like this hair, yeah.
I was slick. I didn't slick my hair back.
Oh, yeah, I
then.
got, we got a picture of
we
it.
have that photo. You
There's
with Gary
one-
Busey.
That's
Yeah.
one photo. we could share that one
Well,
photo.
I think that was just you dressing up and being
that
silly.
day I was fucking around at work.
Yeah, you were fucking around. But that didn't take away from what you were actually doing, which was you were saying, I am God, I am perfect, and that's it.
and I'm above you all.
Above everyone.
So after doing this for a bit, the haunting started. Now,
What do you mean?
all right. Now, listeners, I understand that I'm about to sound like a crazy person, and you're not going to believe anything I'm saying. But I promise you, and I swear to God, none of this is a bit. This all actually happened. Okay. Now, there's a couple of different incidents. So,
Before you do, I just want to point out that Brian has discussed this with me maybe once. He hates talking about this.
Same,
It
yeah.
scares him.
Yeah. Which is why I thought you would actually dislike this movie. That's what I was referencing. That it would bring up that feeling that it's like, oh, shit. You know what I mean?
So it should be noted that, like, and we'll talk about it in the next episode, I have had supernatural occurrences happen to me before in my
Yes,
life.
yeah.
And, like, Steve, you've witnessed supernatural shit too.
We've both had it happen to us more than once, yes.
So what happened was things started happening where, like a door would just open in my house to, like, the closet. You would hear, like, footsteps and shit like that. You would hear different things like that.
Now, in your house, there was only 3 of you living there at the time, right? Your
My
mom,
sister,
your sister
may have been away at college.
So there's like nobody's really walking around when you're hearing this. It's
No.
like you would know.
It's just us and the dog. Also, it should be noted that at one point, like, shit would fly off the shelves at my house, and my mother and sister walked around the house burning sage, and they swear to God, the two of them swear to God that when they burnt the sage and, like, they said this shit, that they heard, like, a voice go, "Rrrr," and, like, leave the house. And I'm not making that up. I wasn't there for this. That's what they told me. So I start doing my shit, right? And I'm saying
The V2 shit.
V2 shit. And I'm into it heavy. And I'm also like, I'm a waiter at the time. So as a waiter, you kind of just end up becoming a nocturnal being
Yeah.
where you're up all night, you sleep all day, you go to work at 3 a.m., you're up until 5, 6 in the morning, and you repeat it.
You go to work at 3 p.m. and then-
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just how you are. You're inverted. So a couple of things start happening. I would start to hear like noises throughout the house and voices, and things were subtle. And then things start to get bad. And I'll talk about the specific ones that I fully remember. So there's one day I'm walking up the stairs to go to my bedroom, and next to me is a painting on the wall. The painting tilts sideways
As you pass it.
as I pass it. It tilts sideways. A TV in another room, no one is in it, turns on to static.
Oh, God.
I know you guys think I'm fucking crazy
No,
right now.
I remember this exact
I remember
story.
when this happened and you were fucking losing your mind.
And you told me these exact details.
Yeah.
You're not even...
So
Yeah.
I when you come up my stairs, to the left is like a second living room, or at my mother's house. To the left is a second living room. To the right is a long hallway. And like if you walk straight into the hallway, it's my mother's room, and my room is the room over to it. So I'm walking down the hallway. I'm in front of my mother's room. I feel a chill up my spine, and a voice go, Brian. I stop dead in my tracks. I am fucking terrified. I'm like shaking. And I open my mom's room. I'm like, were you calling me? I wake her up. She's like, I didn't say anything. She was dead asleep. I'm like, okay. I go into my room. I go to sleep.
I don't know how you stayed there.
That's the first major one.
I would have bounced.
Didn't something happen with the garage?
That's what.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay,
next thing.
Right.
So there's like the 3 major incidents. So the next thing, my mother wasn't retired yet. She's working at the time. I'm in my room, right? I'm in my bedroom. And I'm watching Saved by the Bell on TBS.
Was
And
it the college years?
no, it was a regular episode, you know, looking at Kelly Kapowski. She's being all hot and stuff. And my mother leaves for work. I hear her leave. So the garage door is shut, right? I turn the TV off. The garage door starts opening and slamming. Loud. And it's a
This-
heavy metal
It's
steel
heavy,
door.
I was about to say. That door is not light.
That is a heavy fucking door.
When it would open and close, you could hear it anywhere in the house.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's a loud bang. And I'm like, I know my mother's gone.
And it didn't slam. Like, it would close slowly. Like, it's like the motorized...
No, not the metal door.
No, the inside door.
The inside door into the house.
okay. So the door... Yeah, that's a big door.
Yeah. It's a big metal steel door. Just boom, boom. And my mother is long gone. So the door to come from outside of the garage into the house is opening and slamming.
And you're upstairs.
And I'm upstairs. And I'm like, what the fuck? I turn the TV on and it's
You didn't go investigate.
Fuck no. not after the night before.
Oh, this is literally the next day.
It's around then. It's you know,
I think it was in the same week.
it's very close.
So now you're convinced the house is
Hold on. I'm
demonized.
like, okay, that's weird. I turn the TV off.
You heard a voice.
It's hold on.
Twice.
I turn the TV off. It starts again.
Whenever you would turn the TV
Whenever I
off.
turn the TV off, the thing would start slamming.
Oh, my God.
It wanted to watch TV.
I am like, what the fuck? So I put the TV on. I pump up the volume,
You just stayed in your room?
and I stayed in my room and went to sleep.
You went back to sleep.
It was like
How did you go to sleep?
it was like 6 a.m. The lights were up. The TV was on. It wasn't making the noise when the TV was on.
Yeah, but how were you not terrified?
I was, but I had to sleep. I was exhausted.
Yeah, you got it.
How did you not, like, go down and look?
Why didn't you just go across the street and be like, can I just sleep at your house? You lived across
I
the street
show
from
up
that.
at 6 a.m.
Yeah, 6 a.m. at my house.
I'm like, ghosts are attacking me. I need to stay with you.
All right.
You can't say this without sounding fucking crazy.
No, you can't.
So,
But if you would have called like myself, because I'm all into that shit, I would have been like, yeah, sleep on the couch. I got you. I would have put a little crucifix on you. I would have been like, you're safe, buddy.
I am surprised you didn't try to get some kind of help.
Yeah.
like I reach out and this becomes a thing.
Look at the last story I told. The first thing I did, I called you. I'm like, I ain't telling anyone. I'm telling the only
With
person
the- with
that
the
knows I'm a
psychic
psycho.
shit.
Yeah, I'm like, Brian, I'm coming over, and you were with Ant, and I'm like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
coming over, guys. I'm hanging out. Like, I can't do this. You should have done that.
I mean, it's 6 a.m. Everybody's sleeping.
Yeah. So
Well, not during the first time with the TV and shit.
it was 3 a.m. Anyway, so this is the last incident. I'm in bed and I'm asleep, and I wake up and I feel a presence holding my arms down,
Oh boy,
and I cannot move,
you getting bell-witched?
and I start getting choked,
Oh fuck!
and
Literally happened in the movie.
I'm screaming for help.
Someone is choking you, and you
Yes.
can't move your
I'm
arm.
like, "Ah!" Like
Someone's trying to kill you.
yes, and I'm being like strangled.
Get the fuck out of here!
I've told you this before.
I know, but it's like, whoa.
Hearing it again is always
And I'm
nice.
being strangled. I'm like, "Ah!" I'm screaming
My
for help.
story sucks now.
I'm screaming for help, and I pass out.
You pass out.
I pass
They
out.
choke you to unconsciousness.
Yeah. I wake up after.
Is this a dream?
It could have been a sleep paralysis thing. Like, I don't know. But I know I was pinned down. I couldn't move my arms. I was awake.
You're horrified.
And I'm choked. I'm horrified. And I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do.
Now, did your mother and sister experience anything themselves?
Not like this, but they would experience like a thing would fall off a shelf. Minute things throughout the house. Like my house
You
is
were the problem.
My house is straight up haunted. Like Steve has experienced shit in
Yes,
my house.
I'll tell you about that
Our
right
friend
after.
Raymond, who lived in my basement, has experienced shit in that house. Like my
I don't
house,
like going in that house.
my house has fucked up shit happen.
I don't
My
mind like
mother's
when
house.
a lot of people are around. I'm okay, but like his mom told me to go water the plants, and I sat there like, fuck, I can't believe I have to go into this house right now.
You're scared of the house?
I don't like that house.
Right now, as an adult man.
Don't like that house. We filmed stop motion in the basement. One day.
Oh, yeah.
One day.
You called me over after this happened. I remember this.
I was freaked the fuck out. If you don't remember, I was like, I have to get out of
It
here.
actually
guys.
wasn't stop motion. It was a green screen project for the Fruit Ninja thing.
We were doing a test, and there's a recording of us, and and we were doing a test, and he's like, just stand in front of the camera, and I get in front of the camera, and I'm like, I'm just looking in the corner, I'm like, Brian, I don't want to be here. I don't like. There's something wrong.
What happened?
I was fixing the green screen, and I get a giant smell of death,
Yes.
like
You
rotting,
smelled it too.
rotting
100%.
corpse.
And we were like, what the fuck is that?
I'm like, dude, you have a dead rat somewhere in here, and he goes, there's no way. Like, there's no way. We look around.
So I do what any man would do.
look.
Mom!
No, we look around.
My mother comes down.
Comes
It's
down.
gone.
She goes, I don't smell anything. And I'm like, it has to be somewhere here. And she goes, oh, well, that old box, that was my grandmother's. Maybe it's coming from that.
The smell vanished.
It's gone. The smell's gone completely.
Wow.
I don't know. Hasn't smelled since.
Yeah. That,
Just one instance.
Instance of, dude, it was like standing next to a corpse. I don't know if you've ever smelled like a dead
it
like
was
rodent.
dead. It smelled like death.
Dude, I'm like, I'm out. I'm not staying here.
Wow.
It was terrifying.
So basically, what happened was I begged God.
You got on your knees.
I legit like got on my knees and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I am sorry. I am not God. I am Brian. Please end this.
You killed V2.
Make this
I'm
stop.
V3.
I will.
Oh, right. He became V3.
Yeah, we called him V3. V3 got a new lease on life. Yeah.
V3, the redeemed.
and it stopped.
That was all you had to do. You had to do penance.
I just had to.
You had to repent.
I had to repent for my blasphemy.
And then they left you alone.
I was left alone, but you'll still hear shit in my house. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm not fucked with directly like I was.
Right.
Like pictures aren't moving and shit.
But that doesn't happen in a-
listeners, I promise you, I'm not a crazy person.
That doesn't
I know
happen
how
in your
this
new house.
sounds.
You have a new house. That doesn't happen.
Nothing
in
has
it, right?
happened in my new house.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, where I live now in New Jersey. But my mother's still like you'll hear noises and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like
She's by herself then now.
yeah, I stayed there last night actually because I was filming a project late at night and I wasn't going to make it to work the next day. And like I'm there and I hear footsteps walking around and it's 4 a.m. My mother's asleep. Like it's that
heard,
Footsteps in the house.
in the house. That's just how that fucking house is.
When you went to Disney, like I said, I watered the plants. I went in there and I'm like, sounds like an AC's on, like an air conditioning unit. There's like, but it was doing that like the motor was dying almost, you know? Didn't even check it out, but water the plant, get the fuck out. I tried calling him, didn't answer. Tried calling mom, didn't answer. I'm like, yep.
Oh, you were taking care of the house with them while they were away?
Yeah. Against my better judgment.
He was there. There was another person. Heck of a party.
Wow.
That's Shining.
But yeah, that's our.
Great party.
Yeah, that's
Some avocado.
Steve walks in, there's blood coming out of my room and shit.
He was at the goose and fish soiree. Whatever the fuck it is.
He looks in, it's a bear blowing me. He's like, Steve, I didn't think you were coming today.
Brian's just sucking a man in a bear suit off.
Yeah.
You must not show this to anyone.
I'm crying. I won't.
So that's my first spooky story. When we talk about our next movie,
Sure.
I'll go into the other one.
I don't know which one's worse.
This
I
is
think
that
one's
was
pretty.
great.
That one's pretty bad.
That was great.
Yeah. I hate talking about it because you always seem crazy.
Yeah.
That scene. That's whatever.
What?
I don't know. Never
It's,
mind.
it's that 3 o'clock. It's spooky time, bitch. That's
Yeah.
what happens.
Yep. So anyway, she goes to church and she's all freaking out, and there's a guy who is desperate to get it in.
Emily Rose.
Yeah, Emily.
Oh yeah, James. His name
Yeah,
is.
that guy is so desperate to get it
Dude,
in.
that guy knew her for a day and is madly in
He's
love.
like, I
with
love
her.
you. I'll be with you to the end.
She changed his life, and he's willing to fight the devil
Demons.
himself
Yes.
to fucking just hang out.
That's a white night and a half, man.
That guy-
God
Yeah.
damn.
That guy's a better man than the rest of us.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have stayed, right? You'd have been out.
Oh God, no! Imagine if you met a girl at college and you knew her for like a week, and then you see her running around and doing contortions in front of the crucifix at church. Like,
She said,
who
"Please
the
don't leave
fuck
me."
is this guy?
She was like, "Please don't leave me," and he's like, "I stayed." I would have been like, "Fuck that! No, I'm out. I'm out."
I'm not even gonna like if it's your wife and you've
Oh, so
gotten an investment in there, then you stay. But if it's this girl you just met,
Just met her.
you're not doing that.
I'm epileptic. Meanwhile, there's shit flying around.
No, you're kooky, crazy, scary. No, thank you.
So, Aunt, you go home. Your wife is above the covers. She's floating like Ghostbusters.
Right.
There's shit flying around.
then all right.
You're like, all right, I guess I got to deal with
You
this
gotta call a young
It's like, all right,
priest. You
here
gotta
we
call an
are.
old priest.
We're gonna face this.
together.
We're gonna. I'll call Brian. He knows how to redeem himself. I'll call V3.
That's V4.
Yeah, I need V4
the
over
savior.
here.
I bring Steve over. It goes into Steve's body. He jumps out your window.
Yeah, Beaver jumps out my window, kills himself.
It
Everybody works. It works
Everybody
out for
wins.
everybody.
Everybody wins.
The listeners of the podcast don't even know because he hasn't talked.
But I don't know what I'm walking into. You guys just call me over. I just open the door. Hey guys, vote happens.
So
They say she has psychotic epileptic disorder.
yes,
PED, which we learn is somewhat made up. It's fake.
It's two diseases
It's false.
combined at once, right?
yeah,
We made it up.
we made it up.
up.
It's fiction. It never happened.
This was created by a writer.
We also get Laura Linney has a standard horror scene.
Yeah.
in
There's
her
a lot
apartment.
of that. There's a lot of
Yes.
like we've seen this in other movies.
I think
Yeah.
there's a reason because based on that story, it seems pretty standard for doors to open.
I mean, if
You
you're
know?
gonna be a spooky, scary ghost,
You gotta open doors.
you gotta open doors. You gotta move things that shouldn't be moving.
What would you do if you were the spooky, scary ghost to scare someone? Would you be creative, or would you just
You
would
have
you
to
do the
sit
door?
down, I think, if you're the spooky, scary ghost and be like, what can I do that isn't hack?
I would take all the batteries from the remotes every night.
Oh, that's fucking evil.
You know that's what happened to me, right?
What?
When I got attacked by ghosts. One of them.
Hold on,
What?
hold on. Wait, I just had to look like an asshole. So,
Oh, I've got several of those, but they're not. None of them are as good as you.
well, just give us a little taste.
All right. Well, one of them was I had a TV with a remote control, as one has.
Yeah.
And every night I would put the remote control on the edge of the desk next
Okay.
to my bed
Yeah.
in my bedroom. And every night, without fail, for like a week straight, the remote would fall off of the desk in the middle of the night, make a loud sound, wake me up, and the batteries would roll across the floor. So
Okay.
then I'd have to get up and put it back together, and I put it back on the desk. And that's happened 5 nights in a row. Finally, unexplained. Like just in the
Yeah.
middle of the night, and it'd be like on the edge of the desk next to my bed so I could just grab it,
Yeah.
Finally, one night I was like, I've had enough of this. I put it in the center of the desk. Okay? So it is impossible that it could fall off the desk without someone coming over, picking it up, and throwing it on the ground.
Yeah.
So the fucking thing hits me in the face and wakes me up.
Oh my God.
The remote control is suddenly on my head. Don't know how it happened.
What is your reaction?
I was like,
When
I
was
like,
this?
This is clearly something is fucking with me.
When was this?
This is probably,
Fairly recent?
no.
I remember this story.
This
long
was
time
like
ago?
13, 14 years.
Oh, okay. All right. This seems to all happen around the same time with the three of us. You notice that? All these spooky stories take place around that time.
The spookiest one for me was the one, I'll save it for the next show. Never
with
mind.
with
Sure,
the-
sure.
Okay, yeah, I know the one you're gonna talk about.
Well, hold on. I want to take a break, so I want to go to the bathroom.
You want to stop the show?
Yeah.
This is unprecedented.
We've never done that.
My stomach hurts.
You got a shit?
Yeah.
Okay, but I want a full report on the show when you come back from your shit.
Well, we're going to stop it and then.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
Because my stomach's killing me.
all right, we're back. So, Steve,
Well, it's not that we're back.
your shit. Was it particularly spooky?
It was so scary because the bathroom's actually terrifying.
Why?
Because the door opened without me touching it.
That door just doesn't have a lock.
Oh, all right, all right.
This way, it's always an adventure when you drop a deuce at Airport Plaza.
You feel better?
Yeah, I felt really bad. I felt ill. Like out of nowhere.
Wow.
We started talking about the scary stuff.
We scared the shit out of him.
I was waiting for it. So in the movie,
Oh, real quick, Laura Linney's
yeah.
late for court.
Yes.
And now she is meeting
yeah.
with a paranormal expert, and she's giving a history of possession book.
Did you notice that there was a lot of parallels between this film and My Cousin Vinny?
what?
She's late. The judge is mad at her.
Okay.
She didn't have to change her
And then-
uniform though.
She had, like, I
She
learned.
came in a red tuxedo.
To what, Mr. Gambini?
Look, you don't know the spookies. It's a 67 spook from this neighborhood. The other demons, they don't come from there.
Well, my father's an exorcist. My 2 brothers on my cousin's side are exorcists. I'm an out-of-work hairdresser. I learned from My Cousin Vinny that you can't just spring new evidence on. There has
Yes.
It's called disclosure, you dickhead.
So you want to hear something a little fun fact?
yeah.
My uncle or my great uncle was an actor for many, many years. And he was in
He was in one of our movies.
Yeah, he was. He's in 2 of our movies.
Right,
He's in my
Uncle Ben.
feature as well. He's also in Beastmaster, but he played a judge a lot, and he was a judge in the movie Sleepers. And in the movie,
Is
there's
it a big scene? I've never seen that movie.
he's the judge throughout the entire courtroom proceedings.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a scene where there's going to be new evidence like presented on the fly without like submitting it.
All right.
And my uncle went to like the lawyer and De Niro. He's like, "Could you guys come here?" And they came here. He's like, "This like wouldn't happen. This is bullshit. Like I've played a judge in like 80 things. You got to change this." And they're like, "Oh shit." And like on the fly, they worked it
They
out.
rewrote the scene.
And in the scene, they do that real quick. If you notice, she's like, "I disclosed it this morning.
yes.
yeah.
You just didn't check."
Right.
They fixed it. Yeah.
So they get around it.
Right.
Which I wonder if that happens. If that is actually a workaround. Like, oh, this morning, let me give you something.
If the other side, whether it be the prosecution or the defense, doesn't have time to analyze it and understand what they're looking at, I don't know how you could submit that.
So Emily, they put her on Gambutrol.
Well, they
Yes.
show her doing like the clawing of the walls now and the eating of the bugs and stuff. And
Well,
you
She's back home now.
She gets brought
yeah,
home.
You
yeah.
get an amazing scene when she like really tightens up and they lift her up. She's like stiff like a board, and she turns to the priest and says something. I think
in
it's
Latin,
Aramaic.
whatever language it is. He
Yeah.
speaks it too. So
Yeah, it's
all
either
right.
Aramaic or Latin. And the demon says like, you think you could force me out or something like that.
Do you ever notice
try.
that whenever demons are like talking in these movies, they're always very like, fuck you.
Well, demons are not polite.
Yeah, they're angry.
I didn't expect, I'm not.
They're
expecting
angry
these-
demons.
But they're always like,
That's the demon. Demons don't talk too much.
It's never like, I'll be out soon.
Brian is referencing, I went to see Kiss.
We went to see Kiss.
Yes. And after the show, as we're walking out, we saw it at Madison Square Garden, middle of New York, and you can imagine the type of people that go see Kiss. And the two guys standing behind us as we walked out of the place, one of them says to the other one, "That Gene Simmons, he don't talk too much, huh?" And the other guy, without missing a beat, he has the answer. And he says, "He's a demon. Demons don't talk. Everybody knows that."
He didn't watch enough possession movies. They talk all the time.
nonstop. You have to get them to talk to beat them.
They're always saying, your mother sucks cocks in hell and all that shit.
They're evil.
But everybody knows
Everybody knows.
that demons don't talk.
I hope that guy
But
hears this.
we quote that all the time.
I say it all the time.
Yeah. So while they're talking about the past, they say that Gambutrol locked her in this like state where she's all fucked
I
up.
hated this.
Okay, why?
Absolutely hated this.
The psychologist?
Because the premise that they went with was that this drug cut her off from the exorcism actually working to expel these demons. Right?
Yes.
If we're to believe that God, we're using the power of Jesus Christ and God and faith to expel evil from the body of this girl, why would a drug fucking matter?
Well, they said
explained
that
it.
they said basically.
That's absurd.
Hold on. I kind of like this because they're saying that like they're keeping it grounded within the world without going too mystical. And basically, for the exorcism to work, like even if we're saying God, he has to be able to touch this one part of your brain or whatever it is.
So what? The drug blocks out God. It's the anti-God drug.
Yup.
I have a
It's the devil's medicine.
I have a nice little
like alcohol.
scientific story for you here. And I
Oh.
think it'll make a little more sense.
Is it about a little boy in Colorado who they brought to the thing? Oh boy!
No. So
Lou.
you're gonna feel a little pinched now, butters. No, there's a story that I heard recently about a man who was given pills by his doctor, and he was taking them, and he was like, I feel horrible taking these pills. They're really messing me up. So they call the doctor in because he's getting a second opinion. It's like, what did you give him? Because we see these pills and it's marked with something I never heard of. And he's
Well,
like-
he has a massive erection. What do you think, Doc?
and he goes,
last more than 6 hours.
he goes, those are nothing. They're placebos. They're fake. They're like sugar. They're not doing anything.
Fake pills.
They're basically nothing. And the sickness that this guy was feeling was just in his head, and he was physically ill from it. This actually happens a lot. There was people who get misdiagnosed with like cancer actually believe it so much that they die of other causes because their mind is fucking with them. That's how powerful.
That's how powerful the
human mind is. Yeah. So in this case,
This is hard to.
it's actually not that
is
far
hard to
off.
believe.
It is hard to believe, but it's true. It's not. It's actually like proven already. So it's
Right.
not too far off that this drug, instead of like having her a like moment, the epiphany of like, oh, I'm now released. It's I can't see past this because it's blocking something in my wiring.
So
You know what I mean?
you're almost saying that the drug made her cut herself off from God.
At least her
in
her
her-
vision of God. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sure. That's what they mean. It's possible.
That's not what the movie was saying. I don't think.
Yeah,
that is
that's what they were saying,
That
yeah.
is a workaround.
They're saying
See, I
the
thought that
mental
was kind
jolt.
of the
Yeah,
interpretation.
it's
of
the
it.
mental
Oh,
jolt.
you agree with Steven here?
I think that is kind of what they're trying to say, but like they're like the chemicals in your brain are all fucked up, and like God is unable to access it because this area of your brain is off.
Right. Whatever you perceive as God or like the freedom of these demons leaving you.
The idea
can't
that
happen.
God is unable to access it is ridiculous.
Well, so that's
not
if
the
you're
argument.
if you're a person of
So
faith.
real quick, but that's a thing with all these exorcism movies and like demonic movies and haunted house movies, where it's like the godly people are unable to.
It's more likely. Just let me finish my thought here. It's ridiculous to say that God is unable to do it, but I think it's more acceptable to say that they are unable themselves to receive it.
Okay.
You know,
That's what they were saying. Yes, she couldn't receive that exorcism because those pills fucked up her actual brain wiring. That was the argument that the lawyer was making here. And
it seems irrelevant to me.
But at the end, it makes sense why that was the argument, because both can be argued, but none can be proven. And that's the whole point of the movie.
So in the movie, there's a doctor who supposedly witnessed all of this.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, he's going to testify, and then he gets scared because he sees spooky stuff.
Yep.
And he gives her a tape recorder with the possession on it.
Says, this
and
is
he's
your
like,
burden now.
This is your burden now. And then he gets hit by a car and dies.
This was exactly taken from either Amityville or The Omen, because the same thing kind of happened.
The Omen, not Amityville. The Omen.
It's both of them. You know, he gets blinded in Amityville, and in The Omen, the fucking spear thing falls off the church and impales the guy. But yeah, it's hack. This is a hack horror movie thing.
It's a trope.
Yeah.
You know, that character just always has to bite it.
That did not happen in real life.
No.
So then it's 3 a.m. Laura Linney has the tape, and she wakes up and the demon noises are playing on the tape in another room.
Yeah.
And she gets all scared and turns it off. The church authorized the exorcism. And
On Halloween day.
Yep. It's 3 a.m. for the priest. There's demons around and shit.
And it seems they always smell burning, right?
Yeah.
When you have a stroke, you smell like burning, right? I think that's a thing.
Yeah,
Toast?
toast.
Are they all just having strokes?
I think they're listening to the Strokes. They're all just big
I
Strokes.
think-
It's 2005.
I think there's a Ratatouille situation, and there's a rat just burning toast
shit up.
cooking in their kitchen. And they don't know about it.
that happened in Ratatouille.
Well, he's a rat chef, so, He makes higher quality dishes than
And
toast.
they have a recording of the exorcism.
And they play it in court.
And
Now we get to see it.
we get to
Yes.
see it, and one of the first lines is he mentions who's around him, right? You have the priest, the father, Emily, the friend, the doctor, to make sure nothing goes wrong.
Right.
And he says specifically, do whatever I ask, no questions. Everybody pants down, stand around the chocolate chip cookie.
The chip.
We're gonna play a game. And you gotta do it. If you want to save Emily.
No matter what it says, just do as I say.
Emily's like, guys, please stop jerking off on the cookie. This is disturbing. Don't listen to the demon.
I would hate if I was having my soul exercised and they played Ookie Cookie. That would be terrible. I would hate that.
That sounds like reverse psychology. Please don't do that in front of me.
So we got this exorcism scene.
He's jerking off so hard. The demon must be at it. Nah, the demon's not here right now.
Demons never seem to bother anyone while they're masturbating. You ever notice that? That's what you should have did in your house.
Jerking off. Be gone, demon.
Well, isn't that just the demon taking control of you? If we want to really go in depth,
No one ever has a poltergeist activity while they're taking a shit either. You ever-
I just did. I came back, I'm all pale, guys.
Actually, if we make a horror movie, that'll be what we'll do
Yeah.
to set ourselves apart. We'll get them at their most vulnerable.
It'll just be turned to comedy horror. So the entire exorcism is just trying to get the demon to tell me your name.
Well, that's the thing with demons, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Isn't there a thing with Jesus where he
What was
encounters
that movie where Keanu Reeves was fighting demons?
Constantine? They just announced
Yeah,
a sequel. I'm so excited.
Get him as excited.
What did he
me
say?
too.
I don't know. He yelled yes, I think.
Yeah, I hope he's excited too.
Yeah, Constantine's awesome.
That was a cool movie.
And I gotta say, this scene from the whole entire exorcism scene,
You loved
this
it.
is so fucking cool.
This
You guys
was-
didn't like this?
This was
cool.
awesome.
There was a very powerful cat.
Multiple
Yes.
cats.
Yeah.
Multiple cats.
There's
They
a
got three
cat
cats.
attack.
The cats come in the room and they knock. One cat jumps at a man and he's knocked on his ass.
That's just cats being
Now
cats.
I
though.
have a cat. The cat, I don't care what that cat's doing. There's no way he's knocking me on my ass.
There was three
Jeez.
cats. There was 3 cats. And listen, cats just do that. That had nothing to do with the exorcism or the demons. That's just cats.
Well, you know what happened to them after the attack?
What?
They got cat scratch fever. But
The
not the
Motor
way
City
you
Madman
think.
came
Yeah, Ted Nugent would just follow them around, just playing the riff.
Well, yeah. Ted was the cloaked figure.
Uncle Ted.
The priest is looking out. He's just looking at him. Guitar in
Follow
hand.
me to this Maca rally. I'm the Nuge.
We're making America great again. I'm gonna hunt and kill, and we're gonna kill. We're gonna eat what we kill.
So, tell me your name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keeps repeating.
And that's the whole I am Legion thing. Now, the real
so
girl, they left someone out. And the real
did.
girl says that she is also Hitler.
Yes.
Yeah, all of them are in there. Nero.
There's Cain, Nero, Judas, Legion, Belial, and the last of it, Lucifer in the flesh.
So I thought
That's such a cool fucking scene.
I
Fallen
thought,
angel
I
himself.
thought,
We forgot she jumps out the window and runs to a barn.
yeah, she survives a 2-story
Yeah.
jump
and
out
they
a
just
window.
have to chase her.
yeah. Now, I thought,
Not
stay
very realistic.
with me here. I thought that not Lucifer, I thought that Judas was kind of forgiven. Because, like, he had to do that in order for the crucifixion to happen.
I think this
No,
depends
this is
on
just Lucifer.
what your interpretation of was the crucifixion all part of the plan? Was it supposed to happen that way? Was he a pawn in God's plan, or is he the ultimate betrayer? You know, if you ask Dante Alighieri, he's in the bottom layer of hell.
Okay. Is that what you believe?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's down there with Brutus in the ice.
Well, they say, I think it was like, I'm 6 demons, and it's like, tell me your name, the 6 demons. And they misinterpreted that. It was just Lucifer, and Lucifer was the one who dwelled within all of them. That's what that meant, right?
If you, I'm sorry.
Well-
if you ask Andrew Lloyd Webber, he's wearing a disco suit and dancing.
Because she says, I'm the one that dwelled within Nero. I'm the one that dwelled within Judas. And keeps repeating that. So Lucifer dwelled within all of those 6 people.
But I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a Catholic by any stretch. I thought there's a popular biblical story where Jesus is like doing some shit and he comes across a demon.
Was he taking a
And
shit?
it's multiple demons inside one person, and it's Legion. Right? Isn't that a thing?
Possibly, I'm not sure. Listen, I'm not
Yeah, we're not.
I'm not a theologian, but he did speak to Satan in the desert. The Satan tried to tempt him. And that, as far as I know, that's the only time there were any kind of communication between Christ and evil. But
Okay, this is it. So it's the exorcism of Gerenice Domaniac. The earliest version of this story exists in the Gospel of Mark. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Jesus encounters a possessed man and calls on the demon to emerge, demanding to know its name. An important element of traditional exorcism practice. He finds the man is possessed by a multitude of demons who gives the collective name of Legion. Fearing that Jesus will drive them out of the world and into the abyss, they beg him to instead send them into a herd of pigs, which he does. The pigs then rush into the sea and are drowned.
wow.
That's pretty cool.
In certain Gospels, Mary Magdalene is also possessed when he meets her.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that.
And he has to rescue. That's what they do in that show, The Chosen.
The Chosen.
Yeah, it's a crowd-funded Jesus show.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember you told me about this.
Yeah,
How is it?
it's actually very good.
Okay.
It's well done.
Ant had to put a mortgage on his house to help get it funded.
I wanted to see what their interpretation would be. The greatest story ever told.
He's like, I'm not reading the book. I'll wait for the movie.
Paraphrase.
So they're doing like, all this possession shit. It's standard horror movie possession stuff. We've all seen this
Yeah.
before.
Doctor's all freaked out.
It's
He
all-
can't help.
Yeah, it's all playing off The Exorcist.
This horse
Oh, yeah.
is...
And,
Yeah, horses are neighing.
Yeah.
They run out the barn.
and eventually they're like, okay, we can't get this demon out, basically.
It's a failed exorcism.
Right.
And
Yes.
let's touch upon the real story real quick.
Okay.
Because in this, they showed one exorcism attempt.
And then she denied a second
She denied the second one. The real story
67.
was 67 exorcisms over the course of less than a year, I believe.
Yes, a few months.
So I think that's 2 exorcisms that last between 4 and 6 hours sometimes every week.
Yeah.
And that's what took the toll on her body and killed her.
They were these 2 priests. I have their names. Let me look it up real quick. One is called Ernst Alt, and the other one is named
Joseph Stengel.
Rains. I don't know his first name. Father Rains.
Father Arnold Renz.
Arnold Renz. They worked together in secret. They got permission from like the local bishop, but they wanted to keep it under wraps.
Yep.
This was not publicized.
This was in
anywhere.
Germany.
Yes, in West Germany.
Yes. And the parents knew about it. They agreed.
They were part of it.
They were part of it,
This is a very devout family. They did 67 exorcisms over a few months. And I guess they just never seemed to take. These guys weren't particularly good at it.
Yeah. You know I know an exorcist?
Really?
Yeah. I've met him a handful of times. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, me too.
Father Lance.
Yep. He sits in this room.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's part of TSD Town. Yeah. I wish I would have.
Certified.
I wish I
We
would
should
have.
have had him for this.
I know. I wish I would have reached out to him earlier.
When you were
fucked up.
getting possessed.
Yeah, right? She, Annalise, and Emily Rose, I guess, they both came to the same conclusion that God had chosen them
to be a martyr.
to be a martyr and that they were going to die for the sins of others, much like Jesus Christ, and to their suffering would lead to the conversion of new souls.
Yes, more people would come to find the Lord and give up the rock music.
Yes. They'd say, fuck Pink Floyd. Now, in the movie, she's visited by Mary.
Mary.
Yes.
Mother of God,
Yes.
basically. And Mary offers, listen, I could take you now. You know, the pain will stop, or you can become the martyr. And she, like a devout Catholic, is like, I'll be the martyr. This is the best thing I can do. I'm
Right.
basically a saint. Would either of you choose that?
I think you have. Once you've been told you're saved, no matter what happens.
You're
You
saved
just have to
no matter
suffer.
what.
Why would you fear anything?
Well,
You know,
I
whatever.
mean,
It's like, all right, whatever. I'll go through this for
she
an
does
hour.
say you're going to suffer a lot.
Whatever.
I'll go for an hour. It was days. It was like possibly weeks.
But if you have that assurance, there's nothing. There's
In the
literally nothing
afterlife,
to
I'm
fear.
going to be fine.
Yeah.
But you're fine. Like no matter what, you could be the martyr or not. Either way, the outcome's the same.
There's more powerful forces if you're a person of faith that believes that, and
If
you
you're the
have those
martyr.
assurances. Why would you ever fear anything ever again? You know, you nothing matters anymore. It's just it's a done deal.
So you're on the martyr side. You're like, I'm going for it. I'm going.
have to.
I'll deal with the pain.
The other side to all this.
Ant just loves his own piss, and he's like,
that why?
"Yeah, I love that the demons make me drink
Fucking
my own
lap
piss."
it up. Go ahead. What
Would
do you
you
got?
ask-
I'd be a dick to them. Come on. What do you got for me? What are we doing today?
Look, I'm catching it in my own mouth.
Oh, you think I don't like this? You don't see this erection, huh?
Beelzebub. You're good. You're good, you.
I'll eat the bugs. Protein.
The science side to this is
Yeah.
that these priests are out of control. She's just a sick girl
Yes.
who's being manipulated by
Yes.
people around her
Yes.
into a psychosis, essentially.
Their
Instead
faith.
of getting treatment.
Instead of
their
getting
faith.
treatment. Now, this is a legitimate take on this.
Yes.
Where do you fall?
Me. Oh man. See.
Well, I think we should get to the ending of the trial first because there's some important things on what happens at the end where we can touch upon too. Because where we fall based on faith and science kind of comes into play later on when they choose the verdicts. I don't know if you agree with this, but because
Yeah.
we're at the end. Basically.
So
yeah.
anyway, Laura Linney, they're gonna fire her if she, has him testify again.
Yes.
And she has the priest come up again, and he reads Emily's story,
Yeah.
where she talks
wrote a
about
letter.
the
martyr.
Virgin Mary coming and all this stuff. Being,
Her thoughts on the whole
That she got
Yes.
the stigmata.
and the final court speeches are great. Laura Linney kills it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, "Is this possible? You can't say otherwise," And
reasonable doubt.
Yeah, Moore is found guilty, but the jury gives him time served, and he goes free.
Yeah, he was facing 10 years, and instead, time served. Now, the real ending and what they wanted to charge. was a little different.
Well, let's wrap up the movie because
Yeah.
it's just a couple more
Well,
sentences.
yeah.
So Laura Linney turns down the partnership because there's bigger forces at work. They show the graveyard, and there's a quote: "Work out your own salvation with
fear and trembling.
Fear and trembling." Her graveside is now a shrine, which did happen to Annalise.
Yep.
Father Moore went into seclusion in this, and Aaron Buhner published work. Both of those are fictional. Well, the priest went into seclusion. Aaron Bruner's not the real lawyer. That's fake. All right, so let's talk about the real thing.
So the real thing, if you bring it up, the prosecutors actually wanted a lighter sentence than they got, which is a little weird because I think they
were found guilty.
They were found guilty. The
Of
parents
manslaughter.
and the priest of manslaughter,
The
of negligence,
parents-
of negligence.
Yes, the parents were told they'd suffered enough.
They suffered enough. They were just looking to get them a fine, and they're like, the
I don't
jury
even think
said
they got that.
they found him guilty, but they're like, you suffer enough, you're not getting in trouble.
Also, the German court system, I'm sure, is different than the
Of
American.
course, yeah.
Yeah,
But the
and
priest also got
the
a light
parents,
sentence.
The parents were actually defended by the defense attorney in the Nuremberg trials.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes. Erk
This was huge.
Schmidt-Leichner. Or Leichner? I don't know.
The man who defended all the Nazis.
Yeah, the man who defended the Nazis also defended them.
Them.
Yes. Now, what did I believe the priest got like a very, very light
He got 6
sentence.
months.
He got 6 months.
He was found. Two of them were found guilty, and they both got 6 months.
Now, this is why I asked, where do you stand on this? I wanted to save it for now because if the jury,
Both of these verdicts say to me that the jury
Was
believed
unsure.
It tells me they believed the Exorcist story, but they just couldn't bring themselves to put it down in a court of law. You know?
I agree with that.
There was no
Right.
Bell Witch situation where
Right.
they're like, yeah, this shit happened.
Which to me, that's fucking creepy.
Oh, it's extremely creepy.
Like, like that. Everybody in that room was like, "Listen,
These are reasonable
That's a
people."
fucking exorcist.
Right.
like that's
In
a real
modern
exorcism.
society, it's not some dim and distant past.
80s, basically.
Yeah. And they came to this this conclusion that the supernatural, they were witnessing it, but they just could not bring themselves to go over fully to it. You know, that's what it seems like to me. Anyway.
It's hard to do that.
Right.
To put yourself out there and, you know, I'm an agnostic personally.
Do you listen to Agnostic Front? Is that your favorite band?
Yeah. Yep. I'm a big fan of Craig Silverman. He's the man.
Who's Craig Silverman?
He's in the band. That's Sunday Jeff's brother.
What band? Agnostic Front?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, Sunday Jeff from Tell 'em Steve Dave, his brother
Is it Agnostic
is
Front?
in Agnostic Front. Yeah. That's dead. That's dead true. Get him.
Are we sure about this?
Get him. What is
bothering get 'em.
Craig play?
He's gone.
He's gone. God damn it. Hold on.
I feel that thinking of that band and then Sunday, I can't even put the two together,
No, that's 100% true though.
I believe you.
which is crazy.
He's
yeah.
a guitarist, and if you look at him,
Wow.
you'll see that
Yeah.
he does look like Sunday Jeff.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Small world.
Yeah. I did not expect that
Yeah.
with my stupid joke. You were saying, I interrupted you.
So I'm an agnostic. So I believe there's something, and I believe there's forces at work in the world
Clearly,
and
I
shit
mean,
like that.
You begged God for forgiveness for your
Yes.
trespasses.
Yes. So I believe there's something. Honestly, I think maybe a mix of things could have helped her. Like maybe she could have been in a psychiatric home on an IV, not starving to death, and they could have been working on exorcisms and stuff. I think things don't.
That is a fair.
I think things don't need to be one way or the other. You know, maybe
We live in
there's
a world of grays.
maybe there's some middle ground where she's in a straitjacket in a padded room and they're still doing the exorcist shit. But I don't know. It's tough. The movie, obviously, it's a horror movie, and you watching this, you're going to tend to believe in
Well, the movie
horror.
has told you essentially that she's possessed. It's made its decision.
But they play it both ways, where like they show each scene, other than the exorcist scene, in another interpretation.
Yeah. Besides the demon stuff
What demon stuff?
in the movie, like the father sees demons. like a cloaked figure and shit starts melting on the walls. And they
Yeah.
don't really explain that. Laura Linney, she's waking up at 3 a.m. and weird shit's happening. You can chalk it up as maybe the father was a little mentally exhausted by then. Maybe Laura Linney, like the door just opened and she's scared. You could chalk it up like that as well. But then the doctor goes, I saw what demons can do, saw a demon, clearly looking like, oh my God, hallucinating, and then got hit by a car. So it definitely leans towards the fact that, yeah, there's some demonic shit going on here.
Right.
You know what I mean? But involving Emily herself in the movie, they do the both ways, which I actually dislike the fact that they do the other demon shit. I would have just liked the Emily stuff in the trial. I feel like it would have been stronger.
Because it would have left it open to interpretation.
Completely open to interpretation, yeah.
Whereas the movie made a decision.
Yes, they wanted to make it scarier, you know?
I agree with you. Yeah.
All right.
But where do you stand on that, though, compared? Like, what
I
would
think she was
you-
possessed.
Yeah? Like the actual girl, too?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not scared to say it. I'm not a
Okay.
jury member.
I
You're a
don't
good
know.
Catholic boy.
Evil is real.
Okay.
Good is real.
Based off of what happened to Brian, it's really hard to say like that doesn't exist. I've only had one instance of that kind of paranormal where like our clock flew off the wall. Do you guys remember the clock at my parents' house?
I guess time really does fly.
Yeah. Oh God. But I've never had like that kind of shit happen.
It's so
that's crazy.
stupid.
I love it.
It
It's
happened.
brilliant. It's brilliant. No, I love. Yeah, it's perfect. Everyone loves that. I think I might lean more to the sides with Ant with this one. With the I think
Well, you
paranormal
got-
shit happens.
We
man.
gotta.
Beaver, listen to the clip.
Yeah.
Listen to the audio.
dude. That.
Should we talk about the photo Steve has?
Yeah, we can talk about the
I
photo.
forgot about the photo.
I was gonna save the photo for the other one, but we could talk about it today.
Let's save it for the next episode. That's another spooky tease.
No, we could do. Well, that's.
This episode's kind of packed, right?
We got a lot of
Yeah, we got a lot.
spookiness.
Yeah.
All right, I'll save it for the
All right.
next one.
All
I'll
right.
keep you guys wanting
Yep.
more.
All right. So
So I'm just going to say this real quick. When we had our little intermission there while Stephen was taking a shit,
Yeah.
Yes.
Gidim came in the room and we were talking, and I said that just about everybody's got some kind of ghostly story.
yeah.
And I asked Gidim if he had one, and he said no. So I'm wondering now, are we just weird that the three of us have ghosts?
Well, we also listen to satanic music.
Do we?
Dude, we listen to an album that's just satanic Bible like over and over.
Which one?
Rain Chaos.
Oh, Rain Chaos by Dissection. Yeah, I guess there are certain bands that have. Yeah. all
Do you
right.
want my
You on your
We listen to Pink Floyd.
do you want my
the most evil of all bands.
What's your take?
money? It's just summoning shit. Okay. So this is my personal take on the supernatural and things like that. I believe it exists to an extent. I believe some people, for whatever reason, whatever that reason may be, I don't know,
Are more open to
are more attuned to it, and things happen.
This is going to come into play in our.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And that's how I personally feel about this stuff. And like, I don't know what it depends on, but I believe that's the case.
Okay. What do you rate this movie? Right.
Ooh, this movie.
And are we rating it on a horror scale or on an overall scale? Because I think I have two different ratings.
I always go by overall, personally.
Overall? Okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know what a horror scale is.
Well, you can rate it just in the horror
like
genre.
I would give like a Friday the 13th 3, like 5 stars. Like it's perfect.
Right.
But like
But how does it stand against like The Godfather? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
You know, whenever we rank these things, it's really arbitrary. Anyway.
it's fun. Yeah.
It's fun,
Sure.
but it's like apples and oranges. You can't really compare certain.
Yeah, like this isn't cartoon.
Right.
You know? It's
well, nothing is. You know,
it's
that's
a low
perfect
budget
movie.
horror movie.
Right.
I gave this 4 stars
Out of 5.
out of 5, so
That's-
8.
That's
Yeah,
a very good
that's-
I think it's a very good movie. I love the courtroom drama stuff. I love the acting. The possession stuff's all really good. The performances are strong. It's definitely a creepy movie, and after watching it, like, you know, you're kind of looking your
It
eyes.
makes you
Oh
think.
yeah, you're uncomfortable.
This is a thinking movie. It's not. It's an intelligent movie.
Yes.
The execution is a little wonky at times. I think there are certain scenes that are laughable as far as, you know, if you hold them up to modern standards.
You know what, though?
Even old standards, like it's the ridiculous faces suck. I mean, they sucked in 2005. They suck now.
I think it's just certain things you have to put into your horror movie.
Right.
You know, it's like they're like people are going to see Exorcism of Emily Rose. You're not expecting a courtroom drama. You got to give people jump scares.
You're right.
Like it has to be there for those reasons. What do you give?
There's good performance. Laura Linney's excellent. Tom Wilkinson is great too.
Jennifer Carpenter's amazing.
Yeah. And I liked the prosecution lawyer too. I forget his name. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6.
6
okay.
out of 10.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Whoa.
Beaver loved it.
I love this movie as a horror movie. Every time I watch it, I have to put on stand-up comedy after because if I don't, I'm not sleeping.
You're scared.
This movie's horrifying.
Okay.
Because it has a lot of truth to it.
What's really weird though is the demons possess his TV and Jerry Seinfeld's like head is spinning like, what's the deal? It's spinning.
I'm like, wow, this is way better than what Jerry usually does.
Airplane food.
Why are the peanuts salty? What's the deal with that?
3 a.m. when Jerry's standing over you. You'll know why.
Dressed as like a hip hop guy.
What do you
Why is he dressed as a hip hop?
I love those pictures.
It's his new thing. Pictures keep popping up of Jerry, like in fucking hip hop.
Like modern?
Yeah, this clothing company paid Jerry apparently enough money, and they're like, "Hey, wear our cool clothes, and we'll take modeling shots of you."
ridiculous.
No.
He's a 70-year-old man in like 20-year-old person's clothing.
20 urbanite.
Yeah,
I'll look it up when we
they're
stop.
fantastic photos.
I gotta see them. I gotta see them when we stop. Holy crap.
All right. I think we wrapped it up.
Yeah. All right. Want to say bye, guys?
Bye.
Thank you for stopping by. Stay spooky.
Happy Halloween.
All right, I want to thank you all for joining us, listening to this show. I hope you enjoy it. If you did like it, please go on iTunes, Spotify, anything like that.
We're on Pandora.
We're on Pandora as well. Give us a 5-star rating and review. Feel free to send us an email, reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com.
We're sorry the Apple feed is always fucked up.
Yeah. Apple sucks.
Apple. Actually, no, they don't suck. They're actually a great company. Sponsor us.
The ghost of Steve Jobs.
Shows up at Brian's room. I heard what you said. Pushes his glass off the
My
table.
electronics just blow up.
Yeah, the batteries never charge.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reviewing History Pod. Follow me on all social media at Brian Rupert. That's with 2 P's. Follow me on Letterboxd. I rank and review every single movie that I watch. I write reviews. I have a list of every single movie for this podcast where I rank them in comparison to each other. The other guys have lists too. Hopefully they've been updating them. I haven't been up their ass. I hope they've been doing it.
I do it sometimes.
The links are in there, so you're going to look like an asshole if you don't do it. You know, someone's going to click. They're like, I wonder how Ant ranked these movies.
Yeah, listen.
Oh, he only did one.
If they listen to the whole thing, they'd know.
I'm just saying, just rank them. It takes 10 seconds. It's a fun listener engagement thing.
Yeah,
Please.
Ant.
Please, Ant.
All right, he's right. I need to fix it.
Just do it. I'm not saying to write a review.
I downloaded the app.
Yeah, just do it.
There's
man.
an app?
Yeah, there's an app.
Shit.
There's an app, a website, all that. Letterboxd, fun website for film people. Want to give a thank you to TSD, Walt Lannis Record here. And that does it for this episode. Thank you all for joining us.
Peace.
Bye.